Welcome to the live broadcast of the 70th USTA Florida Bobby Curtis Junior State Singles Championships. We're coming to you from the USTA National Campus, part of the Lake Nona Sports and Performance District in Orlando. I'm Andy Gladstone, USTA Florida Player Development Coordinator, and with me is USTA Florida's Rick Vach, who will be making the play-by-play call for our coverage of the boys' 18s final, followed by the girls' 18s final at 1 p.m. Rick, will we be seeing a first-time Bobby Curtis winner coming out of this final?
Andy, yes we will. And this will be such an intriguing matchup between Matthew Segura, last year's 16 runner-up, and he's the great nephew of Tennis Hall of Famer Ponzo Segura. He'll be playing David Lynde, who yesterday routed the top seed 0-3 in the semifinals. And by the way, during this broadcast, you can tweet us at USTA Florida on Twitter with your questions and comments. These two have a history against each other that we're going to get into, but first we need to talk about how these two players are dealing with the heat. The heat has been tremendous this week. 90s yesterday, today it'll hit the 90s. Early this morning, 90% humidity. Both these players played 2 matches yesterday, had to get through their quarterfinals and semis. What did these players go through yesterday, last night, and this morning to prepare, Andy, to be in top shape this morning?
Rick, first things first, the heat is the X factor in this. It's hot. I give these kids a tremendous amount of credit to endure this. I hope at the end of the day that they drank water the night before, this morning, prepared a week before. But these kids have been preparing not days or weeks, but for years. It's a mental battle and a physical battle as well. But I do think they are prepared. They're used to it. They've played in Florida a lot, so I think they're ready.
I heard one of our girls finalists yesterday, after she finished her semi, say she's headed straight back to the hotel. She's going to take an ice bath. How do things like that help? Ice bath probably not as fun as it sounds.
Yeah, what I have heard is that the ice baths keep you younger, and it is a big thing in sports is ice baths, and with recovery, I've heard unbelievable things about it. It might be harder than the match to sit in an ice bath for 10 minutes, but it does work, and I credit the kids for able to do that.
Matthew Segura, who you're looking at right here, age 17, from Apopka, had a pretty easy route to the final. Did not drop a set. Won his semi 1-1 over the 2 seed. Won his quarterfinal 1-2. He's been cruising into this final.
Yeah, that is impressive. He is an impressive kid. He looks ready and hungry for the match today. He is. I will tell you though, Rick, that he is local. I assume from Apopka. He's probably a lob away, not that far. So it could be helpful for him that he's sleeping in his own bed every night.
David Lynde on the near side of the court.
David is a great player, been playing tennis since I think the 10s in Florida, from Boca Raton, goes to Pinecrest. Great kid, great family, hard worker, real proud of him. And both the kids I'm just real proud of to be here. It's quite an accomplishment.
He has also pretty much bullied his way into this final. Has not dropped a set. Yesterday he beat the top seed, John Bernard, 6-0, 6-3. In the quarters, he beat Logan Zapp, who won the 16s last year. So he's been very impressive, and apparently he's going to try to dominate this match with his forehand, which is his huge stroke.
Yeah, and Rick, I did speak with his coach yesterday, Elazar Magellan from Boca Raton, Magellan Academy, and he said it a couple of times. He didn't just say big forehand, he said huge forehand. So I respect Elazar for saying that, so I'm looking for him to use that as a strength for today.
Both these kids are blue chip 5-star players, very highly recruited for college. Lynde last year was named the South Florida Sun-Sentinel newspaper Player of the Year. He won the state singles and doubles titles as a freshman.
Yeah, that is impressive, and to be in Florida, unbelievable state, to have those accomplishments is just incredible. It's so competitive in this state. It's what I like to say. It's thick. Never an easy match in this state tournament. If you're here, you're going to get better.
How much of Pancho Segura do you see in his great nephew, Matthew? I know you're very familiar with Pancho.
I am familiar with Segura. One of the great tennis people ever. Great player, great coach. Has a history. He spent a lot of time in California, but his uncle Pancho Segura did play at the University of Miami, and three-time NCAA champion there. I spoke with his dad yesterday, and he said that there's a lot of Segura in him, and he trained with him at a young age. He was 5 years old. He learned the two-handed forehand that Segura had from him, and I think we're going to see a lot of the great one there.
It's a beautiful shot of the USTA National Campus there. You can see a bit of it, and you can see the kind of pigeon-toed walk. Pancho was known for his speed. Matthew is a very quick player also.
Yeah, he said he was. Segura said that he was a bullet on the court. He was a ferocious competitor and incredibly fast. All right, matches practicing their returns here. It's about to go underway. It's getting exciting.
We're going to have to see how the heat affects both these players coming off those two tough matches yesterday.
Yeah, and I do feel that it kind of keeps coming at you. You know, it kind of wears on the tires a little bit with the heat, and I do hope that that nothing will happen. But again, like I said before, I do think these players are ready.
Looked like that one skipped off the line a bit. As we said, these two do have a history. I think they've played twice over the last year and split those meetings. So they do know each other's games. Getting out a few early jitters on the serve here.
I noticed the same thing, Rick. So Segura is sporting the hat backwards, I say today. What about the two-handed volley there, Rick? Did you notice that, huh?
That's good aggression. And I think he's gonna need that throughout the match to really keep off a player that has such a huge forehand as Lynde.
Game Segura. First game.
Not a lot of rallies as both these players are finding their footing.
Yeah, but I think it's going to get better, and I think both of them well, for Segura he's been in the finals, but I don't think David has been. So it's a little nerve-wracking, I'm sure, but I think they'll build into it.
He'll definitely be able to draw on that last year's 16s final.
Yeah.
Andy, for both these players, what's at stake here? Bobby Curtis, over the years, is the 70th edition of the tournament. These are players looking to join Jim Courier, Andy Roddick, players that have lifted that trophy here. And is it too much to say that winning an 18s or 16s title here is write your own college ticket?
Yes, it's very prestigious. There's so much history, and college coaches look at this tournament. They know how hard it is, and it's a great prestigious thing to win. All right, they're under play here.
Love 15.
I think both players looking for a rhythm.
Yeah.
tell you, yesterday it was so hot that even sitting on the sidelines watching these matches was brutal.
Yeah, especially on the hard court too. That's good.
You've played on these courts, Andy. What are you thinking? This is a medium. They're pretty gritty. Do you think this is a medium hard court?
I would say about a medium hard court. Yeah, correct.
15 all.
Bunch of missed returns already, huh? Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of net rushers this week. This is not an easy surface to come in, being a median grit court, but Lynde is still going to try to utilize that forehand to dominate.
Really sets up well, Lynde's.
15-30.
It is amazing the looks of Matthew compared to his uncle.
Is it not? Is it not?
Yeah.
It's amazing that his uncle Pancho, who passed last year, did mentor him a lot as a young junior.
Nice service motion there.
Stepping in, looking to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Matthew, when he was younger, started showing an affinity for the game. Started hitting the two-handed forehand, just like his uncle, his great uncle. But a lot of coaches tried to turn him off to that, and Pancho said no. It's a natural stroke for him. Let him hit it.
It turned out okay.
30-40.
Yeah, I think if they're a little tight right now, being in a final. Both players look fit. Would you agree, Rick?
You got to be fit to be in the final here. It's amazing what these kids go through during the week.
Yeah.
How much tennis they play.
A lot of spin from Zakura's forehand, huh?
There's the forehand, setting up the point.
Nice rally.
Yeah, we saw that a lot in matches yesterday. We saw some, especially in the 16s, we saw some smaller players playing some big hitters and standing 10 feet back and almost playing clay court matches to keep the points going.
Advantage Segura.
Lynde, it seems, not afraid to go after that Segura forehand.
Yeah, I see he's going after it, huh? There it is. Lynde is playing quite close to the baseline, if you notice, Rick.
There he
sneak it
finally
in.
goes to the
Look at this.
backhand.
Great point from both players.
That's Segura being the aggressor right there.
Yeah.
Segura leads
As this
the
match goes on, I think that's what you're going to see. Who's willing to step into the court, who's willing to take the net. Lynde, as we said, won that state singles and doubles as a freshman. Right now, according to tennisrecruiting.net, he is the second most sought after player in Florida in his class. Both these players, very sought after.
Love 15.
this match is being cheered, which is exciting. Not always in junior tennis.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Lynde, as we talked about, plays public school tennis. Look how far Segura just standing in the court. Oh, he paid for it there.
Yeah.
Lynde's just being here is a big accomplishment if you take into consideration that he really played no tournaments this year until last month. He played the Florida High School Championships in doubles only, so he's been fighting some injuries this year. But he came back strong right away.
It is an accomplishment. It's you got to figure if you're out for a while, you can lose the edge, and he's come back really nice. There he is up. Yeah, all right.
Not super comfortable at the net with those grips, but Segura just willing to come in and try to end points.
I agree. It could be a deciding factor there, putting the pressure on Lynde's.
But as we said, Lynde's out until last month, and then he comes back and immediately wins a level 4 tournament in Florida.
Impressive. Very impressive. And level 4s are, quite difficult.
He won the level 4, and then he plays the national level 2 in Crandon Park, now the former home of the Miami Open, where he beats Matthew Segura. So just last month, a win over him.
So there's a little bit of a rubber match right now.
To the next generation of greats, from high school stars to college athletes and fans, we're excited to meet you.
Before you saw them at the U.S. Open, you saw them on the USTA Pro Circuit. With more than 80 events across the United States, the USTA Pro Circuit is coming to a location near you. Be sure to also watch live streaming on USTA.com. It's your chance to catch a rising star. Pro tennis that's up close and fun for the whole family. That's the USTA Pro Circuit.
Lynde's to serve.
Love 15.
Little long. Yeah, missed the slice there.
Love 30, low pressure on him.
Lynde's is the taller of the two. I think it's helping him on his serve. Little wide.
At 15-30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you say, using that height. But how big is that serve? Maybe we haven't seen the cannon yet.
It's bringing it home soon.
Oh, and here we go, some break points.
I am impressed so far with Lynde's composure on the court. Both players.
Definitely. We'll see how this goes as the match goes on with their composure.
30-40.
We've seen a few competitors kind of lose it this week with the heat. The heat can get to you physically, mentally.
Oh yeah. The best fit players have gone down this week, and I always say too, it's the nerves. You don't get as tired in practice, but the tournaments, the nerve factor increases everything with fitness, and it's the X factor there.
And we really saw some quick matches in the semis, which was unexpected.
A little unexpected. See him moving all the way to the left. He's looking for that forehand to just rail it.
And you got to think Segura knows that. These two playing each other so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Advantage
A little
Segura.
wide, a little long.
So I think we have a break point here. You might be a point behind the score.
No, yeah.
Really working that backhand now. Ah,
Yeah. He had an opening there. It is 2 out of 3 sets with ads, so there's a lot of time left in this match.
Andy, we had a tweet come in asking if Ali Nilly was in the chair for this match. Not sure if he's taking time out of his Grand Slam schedule. But Ali Nilly is a Florida resident up in Jacksonville. You see Ali at the Wimbledon final and in the chair for a lot of big matches.
And that's the positives and of being in Florida. There's certain things. I mean, we have great coaches that come here, Grand Slam champions. I saw Brian Gottfried here every day. What an incredible state we have for tennis. Crushed that forehand, huh? Just crushed it.
Being put under a lot of pressure here on his serve.
Quite a long game here.
Players also started to move each other around. See how much heat plays a factor in this. Stepping into the court.
Yeah.
Advantage Segura.
Nicely done by Segura. It's going to the towel every time, if you notice that.
Temperature's not yet in the 90s this morning, but getting there.
What
really
is the
quickly.
humidity right now, Rick?
We started out the day at 90%.
Yeah, so their hands are wet. A little bit flatter ball from Segura.
Game Segura.
Yeah, as they construct these points, it's really interesting to see who's willing to step in the court, who's willing to just wait for a mistake.
Mm-hmm. And I think who's going to stick to their game plan. So Segura takes an early lead. Rick, who do you think has the better serve of the two at this time?
I'm just wondering if either player is really bringing it out yet. We've seen some huge serving in the later rounds,
Love 15.
especially on the girls' side. Some of those semifinals yesterday, Jaleesa Leslie just rocking the serve.
Quite, and a great semi with Sophie Edwards and Jaleesa Leslie. And Jaleesa, again, another local player, which is always nice to see, from Orlando.
Love 30.
All right, putting a little pressure.
Yeah. Good return from David.
See here how Segura acts with an early lead. Wow.
Yeah.
30.
Kind of the windshield wiper volley there. Sticking it.
Got it done.
And boy, how this era has changed, hasn't it? I mean, a lot of these kids, when they talk about volleying, they don't talk about your standard come in and stick it. They talk about the full swing. I'm gonna come to the middle of the court and take a full swing and take it out of the air, and they can do it.
They're coming in off something really good. It's one volley these days. You better make it on the first one.
Yeah, and
or make it really solid.
And that was a really tough stroke to do back in the day with different rackets, different strings. But now it's a lot easier shot.
I agree. He is savvy. I noticed Segura's pulling him wide off the deuce side. It's kind of bothering David.
I think we're seeing a little bit of some movement advantage for Segura. He knows he needs to move Lynde. Taller player. Segura trying to hang on to this break lead.
Great Billie Jean King said, "You didn't hold serve until the next game."
Exactly.
You didn't have the break, rather.
It's not
Yeah.
It's not a break until you hold.
Yeah.
Looks like our crowd's growing. We got some fans willing to brave the heat. We got some umbrellas too.
It is nice.
I'll tell you, if you live in the Orlando area and you want to see some great tennis, come out to the Nashville campus today. We're going to follow this up with the girls' final at 1.
Had an opening right there.
It's interesting seeing a name player, a relation of a pro. You've got a lot of kids out there, a lot of nephews, a lot of people related to pros. All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome to the USTA National Campus, where unmatched facilities, unrivaled programs, and unlimited tennis fun are just minutes away. Book a court, learn to play, or take your game to the next level with world-class coaches at our 100-court facility, the epicenter for tennis innovation. Fun new programs for all ages, world-class competition, and the latest technology. It's all here. Visit USTANationalCampus.com and experience tennis like never before.
To the next generation of greats. We're excited to meet you.
All right, Andy, we're back at the national campus, and this is really a new facility for a lot of people. Do you want to talk a little bit about we're a little more than we're about a year and a half into it now? 100 courts.
It's an incredible place. One of the not great tennis facilities in the United States, one of the great sports facilities in the United States. It's the energy here every day, from every level to every program is here, and it's just a role model for sports on what's happening here. The courts, the quality, the professionalism of the staff, the facility. It's just setting the world on fire for tennis, and if you have not been here, you have to come by.
I've talked to a number of players and parents this week that just said this is like the tennis Disneyland. This is being here and seeing this is incredible.
Agreed. It's a fun place to work, as you know.
We'll see if Lynde can regroup here at 1-4. We had a tweet come in at USTA Florida from Jessica, who asked, had these players played each other before? And within the last 6-8 months, they played each other twice and split those meetings.
Yeah, Segura can move. Yeah, he got some motor in the legs there, I say. And I think that's a good point, what you said with they did split. So, I mean, Lynde is confident still. I don't think he's even down 4-1. He's beaten him before, so he knows it's in him. He might not be doing his best right now, but he still feels good about himself.
Yeah, probably not a lot of surprises between these two players. Knowing each other's games, knowing what they're going to try to do during this match, how they're going to hurt each other. We got a tweet in from Adelaide. She says, "Why no booth camera with two such handsome guys in the booth?" Well, I don't know the answer to that, Adelaide, but maybe next time.
Yeah.
Love 15.
A little long, correct? Yeah.
I really like the way Segura just is stepping into the court. He's he doesn't have any monster weapons, but he's playing the angles. He's pushing the issue. He's pressuring his opponent.
He's in a little trouble now. There's that Lynde's forehand. He's way in the line. That's great. Look at this.
He's just got to keep. Ah, there he goes, going for it. Keep it out of that zone, but he's not afraid to go there either.
Quality of play is picked up, Rick, from both players. Very impressive. Let's see what Lynde does on this one. I'd go for it.
Game Lynde.
Little momentum shift here, Rick. Huh?
Momentum shift.
Yeah.
As we said, Lynde came off injury, won a title right away, but this would be the biggest title for Segura. He's reached a lot of semis this year. Semi at a national level 3 in May, semi at a national level 2 in February, and a Florida level 3 in January. This is his first time breaking through that final round, and this would be his biggest title.
I agree. It's always nice for kids who are born and raised in Florida to win the state title. It's a prestigious event for them, and I especially the 18s. How cool would that be? I wonder what the players are thinking about on the changeover here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's always the age-old question is, what are they thinking about? No one really knows.
I think Segura thinking, why are we back on serve right now? I was up 4-1. Segura in February, this was not a USTA title, but he won the Vero Beach Futures Wildcard Tournament. Got himself a wild card into a USTA Pro Circuit event.
Impressive.
On the back screen there, you can see the play site camera. Both players, if they wanted to, they could record this match. They could receive data on their play. Just amazing on all courts here.
15 love.
Lynde's looking to consolidate that break back and bring it to 4-all here. And Segura is really quite a story. I mean, besides his family ties, he's actually ambidextrous. And he developed that style after he injured his right elbow, and he just started hitting left-handed while it healed up.
That is a great story. Love to hear that stuff, where they are bring something positive out into the negative.
Actually, we also heard that from one of our girls finalists, where she said she had to have wrist surgery last year.
Right,
She started hitting
Sophie
left-handed,
Edwards, yeah, who we'll see shortly. Yeah.
and she said that really helped her two-handed backhand to be able to hit lefty forehands like that.
It is a great story.
Let's go.
I did speak with Matthew's father yesterday, and his comment was Matthew has a fighter or warrior mentality. And ironically, there was the same thing about Pancho.
Yeah, you can see it in his movement. You can see he's not giving up on any balls. And you can see him take that opportunity right when he has the chance to move into the court and end a point.
Great point here.
Wow. Great shot
Well
down
done.
the line.
Well done.
Now we might see these players getting into each other's gas tanks. These long points, we're going to have some long points in this heat. We're going to see how both players react.
Little fist pump from David.
Back to deuce.
Right here, pivotal point, pivotal game here.
Yeah, Andy, tell me what you see on the Lynde serve here with his height, with his placement. He's not getting a lot of free points off serve.
Yeah, I think his serve is quite good. I think he's a great returner. Is Segura. If he knows he's moving in, he's going to try to rock one here. He's inside the baseline. Look at that. There it is. And seems like his two-hander is his strength in Segura.
Advantage Lynde.
Yeah, we're seeing an interesting contrast of styles here, and we're seeing what really the moneymaker for Segura, chasing down these balls, having great footwork.
little long from Lynde's.
I think you're seeing a lot of, from Segura, what we're going to see in the girls' final later today. The amazing 13-year-old Alexis Blakina in the 18 and under finals, a 13-year-old.
I think in my 15 years, that's the first I remember such a young player in our final. And we've had some great ones over the years in an 18s final, but that's quite impressive.
We'll have to get the research department on this, but I would gamble to say youngest 18th finalist ever.
I agree. Well, you might go back to the Jennifer Capriottis, the Kathy Rinaldis. That their names would be put in the mix as well. Great intensity from both players.
Yeah, we'll have to check that. Rinaldi, maybe. I know Capriotti won the girls' 12s title, and she was on tour maybe a year or two later at 13. I mean, just we'll never see anything like that again, probably.
Wow. Great finish.
And that's what we got to see more from Matthew Segura, playing against a bigger opponent, playing against a more powerful opponent, looking for those opportunities to finish points. And he's making David throw a lot of pitches here.
Good racket head speed from David.
Oh!
Yeah, unlucky break there.
Showing heart to his team over there.
Needs a first serve here.
Forehand is Lynde's strength, but Segura not afraid to go to it. Oh,
two in a row.
That net cord.
Yeah.
Not friendly.
Pivotal game there, and Lynde's did not capitalize there.
Segura's going to get the chance to serve for this one.
So let's see what Segura has in the tank. Segura serving for the set.
We also just got a tweet at USTaFlorida.com from Lucy Hendricks, who says she loves our stats. We love what all the USTA National Campus staff is doing here with this broadcast and the scoring and everything.
Lynde's showing the fist pump.
Love 15. It looks like Segura trying to amp up the power a little bit. Netting that forehand. Andy, Segura lefty, but do you think he uses that leftiness? You know what I mean? You see a lot of players like Nadal or lefties that can just pull you off the court and give righties a lot of problems.
He's doing a nice job of it. He's pulling them off the court quite a bunch of times. He's taking it early.
Second serve, love 30.
Lynde has to step into it.
There
well played. Well done from Lynde.
Who needs a volley when you can just crush a forehand out of the air in the middle of the service box?
Segura having trouble holding.
Triple break point, second serve.
Well done.
There it is.
Well done.
Breaks
Breaks him twice.
Back on serve.
Let's see what he got there, Rick. Let's see what he got right now.
Games to 4, first set.
Lynde is hanging tough here. Hey, we got a cooker here, huh?
All right, we'll be right back. All right, we're back on serve at the USTA Florida Bobby Curtis Jr. State Singles Championships, Boys 18s final. Andy, coming out of that commercial break, we saw Net Generation commercial. How much do you love Net Generation? I love the fact that we're now giving these kids kid-sized rackets and court sizes and nets and balls that don't bounce over their head, and to me this is something long overdue. They've been using it in Europe for many years. Your Federers, your Kim Kleisters, they all grew up playing with the kids' equipment.
It is quite impressive, the whole culture that with Net Generation, that it's changing tennis, and it's gonna even get better and better.
I think it's going to feed the system all around, because the more kids you get playing, and we're not necessarily talking about making U.S. Open champions. We're just talking about getting more kids in the game, and from that, more players will get a chance to play, and who knows who the next champion is who maybe didn't get able to touch a racket. So I think it's going to be wonderful.
Widen the base.
That's it.
Lynde's sweating profusely. Two players are. Segura's moving in quite a bit on his second one.
He is.
Yeah, and it might put some demons in Lynde's second serve here.
Never hurts to give your opponent a little different look. Say, I'm going to take this serve early, and you're not sure what I'm going to do with it.
Great Chuck Creasy always recommended that. Clemson coach. Former Clemson coach. Lynde really needs to get his more first serves, and we don't have a first serve percentage, but
15-14.
yeah, just like I said, Rick.
A lot of trouble now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he broke twice and he's failed to capitalize. Well, it's not over, and let's see what happens with Lynde's right now.
Double set point, excuse me. Okay, you got 1 point back.
A little short there.
I thought Segura was going to take that in. Here we go. Wow.
Impressive. Set point.
I think that was actually the set. I think that was it.
Correct.
That was the first time we've seen Lynde come in, and he gets passed for the set. All right, we'll be right back with the second set.
The court is calling.
The court is calling.
Calling for a new breed of player.
To make your mark.
To make your mark on the court.
To crash country club stigma.
Crash
the country club stigma.
With swagger.
Rewrite the rules.
With your swing.
And redefine the sport. By putting your own spin on the game.
Your own spin on the game.
Putting your own spin on the game.
Welcome to the net generation.
Welcome to the net generation.
Welcome to the net generation.
Tennis that starts with you. With you.
Your spirit, your talent.
Your victories.
And now it's your turn.
Now it's your turn.
What's your turn?
So bring everything you got.
And leave it all on the court.
Leave it all on the court.
You are the future of tennis.
And the future starts today.
Today.
And the future starts today.
All right, Andy, we're back out for the second set. Great effort by Segura, up 4-1. Lost the lead, but was able to close it out. And we've also got a couple other Bobby results for you. Boys 12 champion Nathan Bloken beat
Bloken,
beat finalist Tanner Povey. And Nathan Bloken, the brother of Alexis, who you'll be seeing in the final.
Correct,
this
in the
afternoon.
18th final, the 13-year-old.
Girls 12 champion Sophie Llewellyn beat Natalie Outcall.
Our future champions of maybe the 18s right there.
Definitely. That's how Florida's Jennifer Capriati came out of the gates.
And Rick, what do you think's going through Matthew's mind right now and David's mind? And David had a rough first set. He had chances there, and I think he's playing well. I think a little bit failure to capitalize on key moments, but do you think he still has the mental confidence to hang in there?
I think Segura's thinking, we've played a lot of times. David's not hurting me today with the forehand. I can chase it down. I can challenge it. I can go to it, or I can go to his backhand. I think I like his game plan, and he's got to be confident after that first set win.
Yeah, agreed.
Segura just needs to come out of the gate strong here with a hold.
Great Tom Gullickson always said, first game, win or lose, come out like a lion there. You want to come out as hard as you can. Let him. And there's Segura's.
That's a hard
little shaking of the rackets, a little confidence.
We saw him beating his chest earlier. He's pumped up. Lynde, we saw some fist pumps also earlier. But he definitely needs to knock it down on himself. Wow.
Clean winner there.
Just stepping into the middle of the court, taking it early. Andy, this tournament in 2012 was renamed. It was formerly the Florida State Championships. Florida State closed.
Florida State closed.
Excuse me. Not an easy tournament to get into. Renamed in 2012 the Bobby Curtis Junior State Championships in honor of the legendary junior organizer who invented junior team tennis and a lot of other things in South Florida, a lot of other programs that were taken nationally. Can you tell us a little bit about Bobby, who we all know, but you have a great personal relationship with him?
Yeah, I've met a lot of tennis people in my years in the game, and he's one of the best. The guy was so dedicated to the kids and the parents and the coaches. He had a passion beyond belief for the game and for the kids, for every kid. It wasn't, he wanted the kids to be successful. He loved it. And I was just honored he to be with him, and he made the job fun, and he cared so much, and he's doing well still.
This is a big game for Lynde coming out of the gate in the second set.
Has to hold here.
Really need to hold here.
No question. This match is going to slip away if he doesn't hold right here.
Bobby Curtis worked in Miami at tennis centers that were in some tough neighborhoods, really helping out the kids who were didn't have great means.
Right.
I mean, he was known for giving money out of his own pocket for food, teaching kids for free.
And he had angels across the state that donated money. Originally from Ohio, came down to the University of Miami, was a great softball player, was a professional softball player, got into running tournaments. He produced U.S. Open players out of Moore Park in Miami. Incredible guy.
He's very close to Andy Roddick.
Correct.
A lot of today's juniors might not know him, but you talk to the Jim Courier, you bring up Bobby Curtis, he can't stop talking about him. Mary Jo Fernandez, all these players of the 80s and 90s, he was helping them. He was mentoring them in junior tournaments. He was part of Florida producing this great lineage of champions.
Yeah. And he cared a lot about education. He wanted the kids to go to college. He cared for them deeply. And let's not forget the great John Desdunes, right on the USTA staff here as a national coach, one of the great coaches of the United States, and John Desdunes, the product of Moore Park.
Mm-hmm. Lynde, that was a big hold.
Big hold. And that's important right now. Little clouds lurking in the background, I notice.
Yeah, we should be okay for this match. Weather-wise, I'm sure the players wouldn't mind a cloud coming over the sun every once in a while.
I feel Lynde has to make those. He had a short ball there, and it's unfortunate, but he's going to have to make those in the future for the match to turn here.
That ball wide. Does Lynde need to change strategy here? He was down 4-1 the first, came back, but is he making an impact? Do you see any strategy that he could benefit from changing?
I think he just has to make more balls, maybe. Yeah, I
think that's
too many unforced.
That's a pretty good tennis strategy for anyone, isn't it?
Agree.
Definitely, though. Cut down on those unforced errors. Maybe like that. Oh, that was a great catch. Wow, that was unlucky. All right, nice way to put that point away. And Lynde's looking like he has very nice form on the volley.
He does. Feels comfortable up there.
Like any player, it's just, can I risk coming in? Do I want to come in? Some players love to come in. Some players see it as a last resort. Some all-court players really know when to come in and when not to.
A lot of the juniors really need to come in more. There's a lot of opportunities. They need to take the risk. It's a percentage game. That's nice.
That's nice.
That's a big shot for him. Big confidence builder.
Which player is going to step into the middle of the court and take control of the court? That's what we need to see. Big 30-all point here. Uh-oh.
30-40.
That was wide, correct?
Trying to find that Lynde's backhand.
Again, a break point here. I wonder what Lynde is thinking about now.
There it is. There it is.
Huge from Lynde.
That's what we talked about before this match. Is he going to be able to dictate with that forehand? And I think being a set down, maybe he feels like he can go for it even more now.
You see any fitness factors, wilting, or players getting tired?
That's what we're going to wait and see here.
Yeah,
but
they look fresh, both of them, to me.
They do. And to get here winning 2 matches yesterday, you got to think they're fit.
I wonder, I did not study it, who had the harder of the day and who ended later. Harder opponents, longer points, longer matches.
Yeah, they pretty much both cruised through their semifinals. Lynde's upsetting the top seed, John Bernard 6-0, 6-3, and Segura upsetting the number 2 seed, 6-1, 6-1.
So our 1 and 2s go down.
Fitness a big factor. How can you bounce back from that big match the night before? Did you prepare yourself well enough? Did you eat right? Did you drink right?
Yeah.
What did you eat and drink? When did you eat and drink it? I mean, it's really a science, and a lot of these kids have great coaches.
Yeah.
We're looking at some of the coaches
some
here.
Crowd
some
developing there. Nice to see.
See how many people can fit under that umbrella in the 90-degree heat.
It's Segura. He's in. Look at this, inside the line there.
Yeah, how will he react to being down a break? That's
Segura coming in quite nicely on that.
Nice. That's the aggression right there.
Segura quite talented on that mid-court ball.
Lynde has to keep up the game plan, I think the new game plan, which is just to be more aggressive, especially when he gets a forehand like that. Wow, that's some good retrieving from both players.
Excellent point. Segura means business out there. You could tell in his walk. He wants it badly.
And Lynde's not a slow mover. He's a good mover also. But in trouble on serve right here.
Yeah. Huge return. Huge. Yeah. Did it at the right time. And that's the right shot. Go for broke. He's up. Triple break point there, Rick. Had to do it. Well done from Segura.
That's impressive. We're back on serve.
Lynde's is in this match. He has to stay here right now. He's, I would assume, a little down on himself, but he's quite in it, and he doesn't. He can't really get down on himself.
Little struggle. Neither player really dominating on their serve or having a serve where they can dominate.
More on the return right now.
More on the return.
Little
game
uncharacteristic
for both players.
double fault from Segura.
Lynde's a pretty big flat first serve, but not a lot of placement. And as you said, Segura, a great returner. And that was an opportunity.
Well, I don't know if that was in or out. What was the call, Rick?
That's the Segura there. Andy, both of these players approaching the end of high school in a year or two. See any of them or their parents or coaches at the coaches meeting the other day for the parents? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, great mention there, Rick. We do have, this is
the college coaches panel.
College coaches panel have been around for over 10 years. We invite about 12 college coaches from the Division 1, 2, and 3 level to come and speak to the kids. I serve only as a moderator. I'm not the man talking to the kids, but it's one of the great things where they could learn about college tennis directly from coaches themselves all around the country at every level. And it's so important. These kids put in so much time that they could get an education as well.
And this is the place for college coaches looking for players. How many coaches did we have this year, roughly?
There had to be 25 to 30 coaches walking around the facility to look at Florida kids. And this is like that every year. They know the Florida kids are tough. The great Keith Purrier out of Navy, the Navy women's coach, he's been here every year. He loves the Florida kids. He comes down from Annapolis. He said they're tough. They know how to compete. The heat, the competition down here. He feels it's the place to be to recruit Florida kids. I think about half his lineup is Florida kids.
Some of our homegrown coaches. I saw Brian Shelton. I saw Dwayne from FSU. I saw Dartmouth. What other schools have you seen here?
I saw Michigan here, Kansas, Cleveland State, Rollins, Davidson, great Davidson College.
Michigan a few years ago grabbed up
Alex Knight,
the 18th
correct.
winner here.
Yeah, Alex Knight, one of the great stories in college tennis, came to the University of Michigan, played number 5 his freshman year. This past year, he was top 10 in the country. So it just shows you what Florida kids are made of, and where you could go with the program in junior competitive tennis in Florida. So Lynde's is up 3-2. Exciting here.
Looks like a couple more umbrellas coming out from the fans, and not for the rain.
Is that maybe we might have the wrong score here? Great point here. Little long.
Yeah, that was just a dip miss. Make your call louder.
Yeah.
He's not seeing it.
Kind
That was out. I agree with your call, but he's not hearing.
okay, so Lynde's looking to consolidate on the break here. Up 3-2.
Top 15.
Looks like he didn't quite like that call. Talking to the chair umpire.
Lynde's having trouble holding today.
Love 15. Wow, really jumping on that second serve.
Segura's return is solid. He's aggressive, and that was that was deep in the box from Lynde's.
Kind of like one of Pancho's other students. Didn't he work with Andre Agassi, one of the greatest returners in the game?
Well, no, let's just say that Gloria Connors moved Jimmy out from Belleville, Illinois to California to work with Segura.
Mm-hmm. Another one of the greatest returners in the game. So Lynde's again in trouble on serve. Having a really tough time holding the second set. And that's that double for the break.
Yeah. And I think that's the advantages of moving in on that second serve. Change the picture, as Creasy said. Change the picture around so that causes double faults there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Puts the pressure on them.
And just to be clear, we're not talking about maybe unsportsmanship, jumping all around on the return to serve on the baseline or anything, but moving in, letting your opponent know that, hey, I'm going to take this early, and I think you're going to give me a weak second serve. I'm going to whack it.
Segura playing well within the rules.
Andy, I don't think we have any former Bobby Boys winners on the ATP Tour right now. Maybe ever since Wayne Odesnik called it a career. But on the women's side, Danielle Collins was a Bobby winner. She also won 2 NCAA championship titles, and she's just cracked the top 40. She's had a great year.
More than great. Unbelievable story from Danielle Collins. Unbelievable. Just a transfer from the University of Florida to the University of Virginia. Just a player from the parks of St. Pete, Tampa area. Just an incredible story and really nice thing to see. Great backhand.
That is a nice shot. Stepping into the court and taking that. And if you're going to talk about former players, Bobby winners, we have to talk about Bethanie Mattek-Sands, #1 doubles player in the world, holding her own in singles on the tour. She had a great career in Florida as a junior, and won this one a couple times.
Yeah, impressive player, impressive person to come back from a horrific injury at Wimbledon. Just mentally and physically strong, a credit to the game, well liked on the tour.
She's got a great socks game too.
Yeah,
a lot of socks from Bethanie.
A lot of tattoos too, but.
All right, this is a big
pivotal point here, Rick.
That's what he's got to do.
Yeah, a little
every time, and I'm really surprised that Segura's serve is coming to the forehand.
We've had some momentum shifts here. I still feel it's anyone's match right now.
All right, here's an opportunity with the second serve.
He has to hit it deep. A little wide. Yeah.
He had a good look there. He had a good opportunity. And I like how Segura standing on the baseline, just taking balls right off the baseline, not giving ground, not backing up. Like we said, we've seen a lot of players playing against big hitters, and their backs against the USTA National Campus banner there. They're almost playing clay court tennis. But
He's sticking to his game plan.
Yeah, definitely.
Advantage Segura.
He's won a number of points serving wide in the deuce court, Segura, today.
Needs to close it out right here. And we got another winner for you, Andy. Boys 16s. Jamie Corsillo beat Emilio Van Cothen. Congrats to Jamie.
Yeah. Two great players there, and that's nice to see. I'm sure it was a solid match.
Segura leads 4 games to 3, second set, and 1 set to love.
All right, so Segura holds for 4-3.
Well, this will be a telltale sign when they come back, Rick, on if Segura can hold and take a 5-3 lead. We'll see what happens.
All right, we'll be right back.
Tennis is my time.
Something to look forward to at the end of every day.
It's my first love.
It's what keeps us playing the sport. Something to work towards.
You know, everyone's pulling for each other.
It's wonderful camaraderie.
You make new friends this way. It's the best.
Speaking of USTA League Tennis, Andy, what a thrill for league tennis players, league adults to win locally, advance to sectionals here at the USTA National Campus, which also hosts a number of national championships. So if they're winning locally, they're coming here and playing sectionals, winning, and then they come back again for nationals. They probably don't mind the travel nor playing at this incredible facility.
Yeah, players like coming here. Orlando's an incredible town. There's so much to do, and the facility itself, it's just endless on the energy and the great karma that happens here.
That's a great shot. How much of a struggle has it been for David Lynde's hold serve?
All day here, yeah. Segura is tough. He loves that two-hander.
It's been really impressive.
Pivotal point here.
How much he can pressure an opponent with that return and just stepping inside the court. Oh, he had a nice look there.
Uncharacteristic return there.
Lynde's looking frustrated.
Big forehand. And I think too that's a confidence builder. Let's see what happens. This is where it's at right now. I feel the match is. Viewers, if you're watching, this is where it's going to happen right now. If Lynde could come back right here and stay in this match.
That's a big one.
Yeah, too bad for David. Yeah.
And at this point, I don't know if it's the heat or what, but Lynde's just not spinning the first serve in, but not really going for a lot. Just maybe realizes that the ball's coming back anyway, so I'm not going to put a lot of effort in the serve, just serving it down the middle of the body.
It's really turned out to be an exciting final.
That's a big hole for 4-all. Segura really on the precipice of amazingly possibly
winning. A little wide there.
Winning a first title of the year at Florida's biggest tournament.
All right, critical point here.
Wow.
That two-hander is
he can really slap
quite
that down
solid.
The line. Segura also, watch this first serve. Not really going for a whole lot. Andy, neither of these players can be coached during this match by parents.
If they split sets, they could be coached.
If they split sets, they will get a break.
Correct.
Where they can be coached.
Correct.
But we're not.
It's a 3-minute break, and they could. I don't know if the heat indexes. They might move it to 10. Right idea from Lynde.
He needs to take that advantage when he can with that forehand and go for it. That's his difference maker.
Both players seem to they have some spring in their step still.
Yeah. Oh. Another point to hold here. I think Lynde's having trouble on his serve. I think generally getting outplayed in the set, but still right there with him. Nice.
Well done. Well done.
And some great scrambling by Lynde at that point to keep it alive.
Segura leads 5 games to 4 second set and 1 set to love.
Well, Segura 1 game from the match. I don't think Lynde is going down too easy, but
he's going to serve to stay in.
He's going to serve to stay in, and it's been rough for him all day.
We'll see what he's got. All right, we'll be right back.
Before you saw them at the U.S. Open, you saw them on the USTA Pro Circuit. With more than 80 events across the United States, the USTA Pro Circuit is coming to a location near you. Be sure to also watch live streaming on USTA.com. It's your chance to catch a rising star. Pro tennis that's up close and fun for the whole family. That's the USTA Pro Circuit.
Speaking of the USTA Pro Circuit, we're really into the run-up to American tennis here, finishing up the clay season into the grass. A lot of people happy with Roger Federer returning for Wimbledon, and after the grass court season, it'll just ramp up. Net generation will be rolled out during U.S. tournaments and at the U.S. Open. So if you're looking for local junior programs, go to www.netgeneration.com, and we'll see if David Lynde can stay in this match on serve. Oh, that's some good aggression right there, putting that ball away. 15-all. Again, not going for a huge amount of that serve, going down the middle. In the last few matches, in the semis, in the finals, we've really seen from the boys and the girls side how a great returner can break a server down.
Always felt that players work not enough on the return. It's all about this serve and return. Serve and return. They're more working on other ground strokes and volleys, but the return is a key component in the whole game.
When you get a second serve, when you get a player that just spins it in, you got to be able to hurt them. And a lot of unforced errors coming off Segura's racket this game. 40-15, a possible relatively easy hold. And another unforced error.
Lynde's hanging on. Hanging on.
I think 3 from Segura that game really gifted Lynde's that service game. Now we're getting into crunch time at 5-all.
You let him in. Lynde's showing great retrieval skills, huh?
He is
a little wide.
He's definitely a good mover for a tall guy.
All right, 15 love for Segura.
Yeah, it's a little rare to see a big match like this with 2 juniors where the serve's not really playing a huge part. Working that Lynde's backhand. Ah.
Did he get it?
I think that's long. I think the unforced errors are creeping in to Segura's game. And Andy, are we seeing a little ambidextrous ability on that serve?
Served righty there.
Serving righty and lefty?
Might have.
Nice.
Segura controlling that point nicely.
really able to move Lynde around. He's really benefited from that this set.
Yeah, he's got 2.
I can't tell you if David Lynde is feeling it right now, but he's looking like it's hot out there.
It is warm.
40-30.
Never the right time to double fault, but that's...
He's going to have one more
not
chance
good
to
here.
secure this game. Serving righty. Oh, that was the right play, and he had the volley right there on his racket.
Lynde's again not going away. Impressed with this kid.
These are big couple points for David Lynde, who, as you said, just won't go away.
Let's see what Lynde's got on this.
Uh-oh. That's fortuitous for Segura.
Advantage Lynde.
Now have the game point.
Game Lynde.
Lynde's got his little spring in the step on that one.
Good set, Segura.
He's looking spry. Nice to see a great boys 18s final here.
Never easy to close out a set, is it?
Well said, Rick. Never easy. It's who plays great at the end.
Andy, a great shot of the USTA National Campus where you could grab a snack over on the right at the snack bar, then head up to the observation deck and just see virtually all the courts.
Yeah, it is one of the great views in Florida to watch the whole facility from that area. If you ever want to come here and visit during the tournament or even an off hour, it's such a pretty sight to see all the players playing from the 36-foot courts to the 60-foot courts to the player development courts, seeing world-class juniors, world-class pros practicing, to the clay, to the league players. It's right there on that observation deck.
And yesterday they scheduled a lot of the semifinals right on the courts around there, so you had a lot of college coaches up top watching. That's a big first point for Lynde.
Lynde needs to hold here.
Went for it.
Believe it ball.
30 love. Segura, you saw there using some of that leftiness on the forehand, kind of hitting that can opener wide, trying to draw him off the court.
I did catch that, and I do like that style.
Return called out. That was a close one. Segura's return. And now triple break point, or triple hold.
He got it.
David Lynde. Uh-oh. A little bending over in the heat. Lynde, who earlier this set couldn't hold to save his life, now holding easily the last 2 times.
That is correct. A 10-minute rest period, as per Florida rules.
And Andy, talk about the coaching. There is a coaching rule during a set break.
Correct. So both players can speak to their coach, a parent. They could even call on the phone to get a quote lifeline there.
Yeah. And not a set break, but when they split sets.
When they split, that's correct. Yeah.
All right.
So Rick, let me ask you a question. So, what would you say is your future of this match right now? What's your prediction or of the action that's going to happen?
Well, I was shocked by the momentum change there at the end there, with Lynde's holding pretty easily, and just turning this set around when down a set and a break, he looked to be out of it. So, really big turnaround.
Yeah.
But we're gonna cut to a commercial here, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the USTA National Campus, where unmatched facilities, unrivaled programs, and unlimited tennis fun are just minutes away. Book a court, learn to play, or take your game to the next level with world-class coaches at our 100-court facility, the epicenter for tennis innovation. Fun new programs for all ages, world-class competition, and the latest technology. It's all here. Visit USTANationalCampus.com and experience tennis like never before.
To the next generation of greats. We're excited to meet you.
The court is calling.
The court is calling.
Calling for a new breed of player.
To make your mark.
To make your mark on the court.
To crash country club stigma.
Crash.
Crash the country club stigma.
With swagger.
Rewrite the rules.
With your swing.
And redefine the sport. By putting your own spin on the game.
Your own spin on the game.
Putting your own spin on the game.
Welcome to the Net Generation.
Welcome to the Net Generation.
Welcome to the Net Generation.
Tennis that starts with you.
With you.
Your spirit, your talent.
Your victories.
And now it's your turn.
Now it's your turn.
What's your turn?
So bring everything you got.
And leave it all on the court.
Leave it all on the court.
You are the future of tennis.
And the future starts today.
Today.
And the future starts today.
Tennis is my time.
Something to look forward to at the end of every day.
It's my first love.
It's what keeps us playing the sport. Something to work towards.
You know, everyone's pulling for each other.
It's wonderful camaraderie.
You make new friends this way. It's the best.
Before you saw them at the U.S. Open, you saw them on the USTA Pro Circuit. With more than 80 events across the United States, the USTA Pro Circuit is coming to a location near you. Be sure to also watch live streaming on USTA.com. It's your chance to catch a rising star. Pro tennis that's up close and fun for the whole family. That's the USTA Pro Circuit.
To the next generation of greats, from high school stars to college athletes and fans, we're excited to meet you.
Before you saw them at the U.S. Open, you saw them on the USTA Pro Circuit. With more than 80 events across the United States, the USTA Pro Circuit is coming to a location near you. Be sure to also watch live streaming on USTA.com. It's your chance to catch a rising star. Pro tennis that's up close and fun for the whole family. That's the USTA Pro Circuit.
Andy, we're getting our money's worth from the USTA Bobby Curtis Junior State Championships, boys 18s final.
Absolutely. Impressed with both players. Really exciting tennis. A little bit of a sluggish start, but they went really good exchanges, good competition, good sportsmanship too, good character out there from both players, which is always nice to see.
And we split sets here, so players get 10 minutes before the third set. They can talk to coaches or parents during that time, but we've learned that Matthew Segura is also taking additional 3-minute medical timeout on top of that, so we need to find out what Matthew's dealing with. Before the end of the second set there, he had hands on knees for a little bit. So at this point, we'll see what both players can come back with. And Andy, we were talking about former champs. The umpires called time here. We've got Lynde's coming back out.
We don't see Segura. I hope he's doing okay.
He is out. He's got the hat.
He's going to play. Okay.
He was apparently struggling with something there, taking that additional 3 minutes on top of the 10 minutes.
New can
of balls. At this time, we're not sure whether it's heat related or injury related. But he has been doing a lot of scrambling, and Lynde's dancing around, showing he's ready for a third set.
Lynde's should come out strong. He definitely has the momentum here.
Double fault to start, not good. Looking at the sidelines after he doubles. Lynde's talking to someone on his sideline.
Love 30.
Segura grabbing his knee there. Not sure if it's that, but Andy, in this situation, it becomes mental for both players. If you're dealing with an injury, it's mental. If your opponent is possibly injured, it's mental. What does David Lynde have to do here? How does he have to come out in this third set?
I think he has to be, I like to say, consistently aggressive. Make a lot of balls, quality balls though. And he got to stay on them.
Segura love 40, not moving a lot, but still in the middle of the court. Wins his first point of the game there. A lot of times.
Have you noticed any? I'm noticing a little bit of slowing down from Segura.
Definitely seems to be walking a little gingerly. Looking at the sideline a lot. 15-40.
Even his serve. Yeah, I'm not sure really what happened here.
Hitting the hip with his racket. He may be cramping.
He's holding something.
Talking to the sidelines. Looks like he's frustrated. Possibly a cramp. Limiting his movement, but that's a break for Lynde's, up 1-0 to start the third. Looks like Segura talking to the tournament officials, gesturing. Lynde's immediately out on the court, wants to show he's ready to play.
Segura's coming back. Well, this game will be an important one for the match here.
Lynde's right up to the baseline. He says, let's go.
15 love. Excuse me, I need you to be quiet. You're interfering with the match.
Andy, we're talking about the injuries and the mentality of injury. Like you said, Lynde needs to make quality balls here. He needs to keep playing his game. A lot of times a player against another injured player will, whether they know it or not, take their foot off the brake or off the gas and let up.
Well said, Rick. Lynde doesn't seem like he's taking the foot off the brake here.
No, that's a great shot.
Way to step in, go to the open court.
Segura hits the winner, starts shaking his head. Still not happy with whether it's a cramp or a thigh, but he definitely still is moving around. That's wide.
A little wide.
Segura falls through the court.
I don't know if he's disgusted or he's just feeling the heat. Segura's making them the whole match.
He's back up, and that was a long point, and that's what Lynde needs to do. Needs to move him around. Segura nests the forehand, drops the racket, hands to the knees.
Definitely things going on there. There's fatigue problems here. I don't see. Do you see any sort of injury here, or it's a fatigue problem, Rick?
We saw him earlier, striking his hip, striking his thigh with his racket as if maybe it was a cramping issue, but as you say, Andy, it could be fatigue. It could be third set after a long week. That's a big hold for David.
Big hold.
Final set.
Well, we'll see what's in the tank from young Segura.
You got to wonder if whatever he's dealing with here, if he's going to be able to hang on and fight through it.
Wide.
Trying to work that backhand, but we're not seeing the same footwork from Segura that we saw earlier. And amazingly, this is the first three-setter for either player this week. I look wide, but questioning that call.
Yeah.
$15.30 here.
After every miss,
yeah.
He's going down, hands to the knees, shaking his head. Like we said, Segura's a scrambler. He's a tough customer. He's a gritty player, but we're not sure if he's going to be able to fight through whether it's cramping or just general fatigue.
Yeah.
That's a half-hearted approach there where he's passed.
Leads 3 games to love, final set.
Lynde's 3-0 in the third.
Again, I would not rule out Segura. Let's see. He is looking fatigued in the face, though.
He is pain. He reaches for the hip again, the thigh again.
David, a product of the great Pinecrest School, a great academic school and athletic school in Florida. Did have a chance to chat with him last night and told me some interesting changes that he made, and was impressed with just the small things about managing his time better, a better schedule, and obviously a lot of hard work, but as everyone knows, it's not always the hard work, it's the smart hard work. So and impressed with David that he's getting to do that.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, but for a lot of these top players, I'm not going to say education takes a back seat, but a lot of them go to virtual school, or it's pretty rare to see a top player who really is committed to academics and as you said, going all out. Parents are into it, really achieving academically.
Yeah, that is impressive.
15 love.
You spoke with David's father. What did he talk about with how David's year is going and not only academically but getting back into his tennis after the injury?
And one of the things that I'm hearing throughout a lot, I spoke to a couple of the players here at the tournament, who are here at the end, and if you're here on Tuesday or Wednesday, you're pretty good. And I asked them what they're doing, and a lot of them said their fitness is better. And it is interesting that they spent more hours with cardio and strength training, etc.
And Lynde's taking care of serve so far. 30 love. Segura hoping the yellow shirt can change his fortunes. He's not putting a particular great amount of effort into his movement, but he's staying in. He's stepping into the court. He's making Lynde's work for it.
He's a warrior.
30 all. It's 2 big points there. He could potentially claw his way back into the match here. That forehand sails long. Segura slumps over. Looks like he's talking to his camp on the sidelines.
Big point here for Lynde's.
Playing Lynde's with a real pep in his step now. He looked like he was dragging at some point late in that second set, but he pulled it out, and his fortunes have really changed. Score misses there.
It's amazing, Rick, what winning points does for your attitude and your composure on the court.
Oh, and Segura really struggling now, missing that return. At one point, last point, he grabbed his other thigh. And Lynde's a point to go up. 4-0. The forehand goes wide.
Back to deuce.
Segura trying to do what Lynde did so well that second set. Just kind of hang around. If I hang around, good things can happen. It's not easy to close out a match, especially against an injured opponent. Wow, and that goes long. And
break point here.
Break point for Segura.
Yeah.
Really fighting through some issues, though.
Back to deuce.
Back to deuce. Lynde pumps his fist. This is a really tough kid here. We heard at that break after the split sets there was a possibility he might stop playing, but he's fighting through it.
Advantage Lynde.
Okay. The game point for Lynde.
A point to go up 4-0 again. Lynde's working quickly with the serve. And there it is. 4-0.
Final set.
He did have some chances there.
He did. He's hanging it in. You gotta admire him. Lynde wants to show Segura that he has all kinds of energy on the other side.
He's smart to do it.
15 love.
Not exactly windy, but a nice breeze out there. I'm sure the players don't mind.
Serving much easier.
Wow.
30 love.
Just rears back and hits a forehand winner and immediately doubles over. Grabs the thighs.
Thank you.
And you got to think that's the strategy. If he has any chance in this match, it's just pull the trigger first opportunity. He's not going to get any free service points.
It's 15.
His game is chasing down balls. His game is scrambling, but that's not going to benefit him right here.
Lynde is up, but never easy to be in that position either. You know, he sees the end near, but still has to earn it.
I think you'd agree that he's definitely playing this out right. Keeping a lot of balls in play. Playing quickly on his serve. Doesn't want to give Segura any chance to rest or think or just on to the next point.
Oh, very slow on that one.
There's that lefty can opener trying to draw him off, but
well done. Well done from
takes it
Lynde.
down the line.
Lynde's got a nice dose of adrenaline there.
It's a point for 5-0 and a double fault. Segura looks at the sidelines, waves his hand. Waving it again. Not sure if he's going to finish this one. Shaking the umpire's hand. Shaking his opponent's hand.
Well, too bad it had to end like that, Rick. But hats off to Matthew Segura for fighting in, and congrats to a special kid in David Lynde. Well done. Loses the first, comes back strong in the second, and hangs in there. So a nice boys final.
Really well played. Really good sportsmanship.
Yeah, it's another great one. It's in the books for our 18s final to have another champion crowned. David looking rather serious. No fist pumping, but he's a champion. He's in our record books for being one of our great players now.
And it is never easy when an opponent retires like that. So
yeah,
great sportsmanship on his part.
It's not good for everyone, and I'm sure David feels for him.
Both players go off. I'm sure that's straight to the medical tent for Segura. But what a great effort staying in there the third set after it looked like he might retire after 2. With some physical issues, some cramping. So David Lynde, our 2018 champion, boys 18s, USTA Florida Bobby Curtis, junior state championships.
Congratulations. Any closing comments on the match, Rick? What you thought, what you saw out there?
I thought it was just great from both players. I think, like we said, Lynde's had that experience this year, coming back from issue and injury and winning a tournament straight away. I mean, there's something to be said for being able to pull across that finish line. Segura, a lot of semifinals at big events this year, but this would have been his first title. So congratulations to both players for their effort and really tidy effort from both players throughout the week. I mean, not dropping a set, keeping the matches short, beating some really high-seeded opponents easily.
Mm-hmm.
So great for both players.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning into our broadcast. Andy and I need to see what's on its special over at the NetPost Grill. Thanks to USC Nationals Brian Begling, Nick Shukla, and our camera people, Michelle Provenzano and Ann Smuds, and all our support crew. We'll be back here at 1 p.m. for the Girls 18s final, and we'll see you then.